Now, if your goal is to have great classroom management, probably one of the most important things you can get down is how you start your class every day. Now, because here's what happens. How you start the class sets the tone for the entire class. What happens that first 5, 7, 8 minutes basically will translate into what happens your entire class period. If you can't get control of your class right away, you're gonna have a rough hour, 50 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever you have. So I want to share with you what I do in my class almost every single day to make sure I have effective classroom management all throughout. And so it starts with this. It starts with you being present the moment kids walk in. So what I'll do, and I won't do it now, but what I'll do is I'll have this door propped open with my little footrest, I guess you would call it. It's propped open. And then what will happen, the bell rings and students will come into the class. And so I tell my students, if the door is open, just walk right in. Now, where I'm at is extremely important. I will usually be right here, or I might be like right out there. But the thing is, if I'm right here, I have a visual of what's going on in my classroom, as well as what's going on out there, and I can control the energy coming into my class. So if a kid is coming in all hyped up, before they bring all that in here to the class, I can settle it down. Also, the other thing is this, that we have no electronics in the classroom, no cell phones, earbuds. So as they're walking, if I notice they're on their phones or their earbuds in, I can tell them to put it away or take it out. It gets to the point where they'll walk up to my class and I'll go like this, and they'll know, oh, and they put away their earbuds. And so the moment they come in, my expectation, here's the key, you got to know what you expect from the students, and you got to hold them to that standard. My expectation for my students is that the moment they come through the door, they are focused and ready to work. Whatever was going on out there, they leave it out there, but in here, it's a different environment. And so they will come into the class. Once they kind of pass through here and we're all good to go, they'll come in, and then what they'll do, and this is for our school, we kind of agreed upon this as a school, is students will make sure all electronics are in their backpacks, and then they will put their backpacks in the spot in the room. Let me show you where that's at. It's right over here, actually. And so students will put their backpacks over here. You probably can't see the angle, but it's right down here. It's taped off. And so students will put their backpacks in this little area part of the room where it's taped off. They'll get what they need. And so that way, they're not distracted by whatever is in their backpack. And so this is, once again, a school-wide policy that we have. Then the other part is, and we do this at the beginning of the year, I do not actually dive into a lesson until about a week and a half into school. About a week and a half. We don't really dive into a lesson a week and a half. We spend that first week kind of going over rules, procedures, but we also go over what our warm-ups are. I spend 3 whole days on what students are supposed to do when they first come into class. I call them my warm-ups. And I'll give you an example. Here's one of the warm-ups right up here. It says this is, and here's the beautiful thing about it. I want you to think of it this way. And that's actually happened to me one time. I lost my voice. I wasn't able to speak. If you could not say a word, could students read what you have on the screen and know exactly what to do? And since we practice this at the beginning of the year, several times over and over again, we do it all year long, students know what to do. So then I tell my students, they come in, leave everything outside. You can leave outside, bring it back in, put it down, grab what you need to grab, and start working. And of course, once again, I'm in that spot right there, making sure that everything goes smoothly. But then I tell them, look at the board, and I'll tell you what to do. And it tells them exactly what to do. Take out a paper, what to title it, essential question, how to set the paper, and then what to do. And then, it's more information here. But here's the other part. You only have 8 minutes. You got to put a time frame on your warm-up. Whatever your students are doing, that first part of the class, you have to put a time limit on it. Because if you don't tell them how long they have to work on something, they will delay it as long as possible. And so this tells them 8 minutes. In fact, what I do is I actually have a timer up here as well. This timer is going, the moment the students walk in, this timer is going, it's counting down. It gives them a sense of urgency. Now, you'd be surprised. Students like the predictability. They like knowing what to expect in the class. And so when they come to class, they know exactly what to do. They know exactly how long they have to do it. They know what my expectations are. And I would say probably 95% of the students are right on task. Now here's the other part of it, and you know this if you're teaching, and besides just the teaching part, we have other responsibilities. You know, we're the nurse, we're the supply person if the kids doesn't have some sort of supplies. We are the counselors, if they need some emotional SEL help right there, we're helping them out with that as well. We hall monitor, we write them the pass, we got to take attendance. And so what happens is this: if you really dial this in, you're going to find yourself having about 6 minutes or so at the beginning of the class to take care of those housekeeping items. And so that means, here's exactly how it flows. Let me kind of paint it out for you. I'm up here, right? We have a pass period of 4 minutes. So about 4 minutes, students are walking in. I'm checking in. 4 minutes are walking in. Make sure everything's good. Make sure students are doing what they need to do. Timer goes, or the bell goes off. Boom. Class begins. I then close that door. By then, the last bit of students are putting away their backpacks, usually within 2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes from that bell ringing. All backpacks are prepared, all students are sit down, and they are focused. And then that 2 minutes, after they're doing what they do, that is when I'm taking my attendance, I go back there, put it in my computer, and then I'm walking the room, taking care of what I need to take care of. If a student's off task, I redirect them. If a student doesn't have a supply, we help them with that. If a student's having a rough day, we have a quick little conversation. But if you have this dialed in, you will have time for that. If this is not dialed in, what you're going to find yourself is those 6 minutes, those first 10 minutes of class are going to be chaotic. You're going to be putting out fires everywhere. You're going to try to solve everything. Kids are going to be off task. If you do this and you get this down, it's going to make the entire class period run so much smoother. So dial in the first couple minutes of class.